Told my sister her miracle baby isn't special after she kept dismissing my own child's achievements. Now, the family is mad at me, but I'm tired of her constant favoritism. So, I feel like a complete jerk even writing this, but I'm seriously at the end of my rope. My sister 32F has been trying to have a baby for a long time. She's had a couple of miscarriages, went through multiple rounds of IVF, and finally she gave birth to a healthy baby boy a couple of months ago. I-27M was really happy for her at first, and I know how much this meant to her. But ever since the baby came, she's been acting like she's the first person in the history of the world to have a child. Every single conversation turns into a speech about her miracle baby and how hard her journey was. I get that it wasn't easy, but she's milking it for everything. It's gotten to the point where she expects everyone to put their lives on hold for her and the baby. Like, my parents were planning a trip for their anniversary and she guilted them into canceling it so they could help with the baby. She even asked me to take time off work to come over and support her, which really just meant running errands and cleaning her house. The breaking point came at a family dinner last weekend. She went on again about how blessed she is, how she's the only one who understands real struggle, and how no one can relate to her unless they've been through the same thing. After 30 minutes of this, I just couldn't take it anymore and said something like, "We get it, you had a baby. That's great. But you're not more important than anyone else. You're not the only person who's ever had a kid." She immediately started crying. My mom called me cruel, and now half my family is pissed at me. They all think I'm heartless and jealous or something. I'm not. I just feel like she's using the baby to manipulate everyone. Next story.
Refused to visit or speak to Mel after she told my partner to marry someone else during an argument. Now, my partner thinks I'm overreacting, but I feel completely disrespected. Me 23F and my partner L25M have been together for 7 years. We have 2 beautiful young children. A little bit of context: 2 weeks prior to visiting, I had just found out Al was cheating on me for the entirety of our relationship, so I was feeling rather sensitive this day. Anyway, we were visiting my Emil a few months ago. While we were there, we started talking about Al's immigration status and when we would be getting married so he can get his citizenship. I told my Emil I wouldn't get married just for some papers. I told her if I was to get married, it would be because we love each other and would want to spend the rest of our lives together. I was holding back tears as I said this. Also, me and Al have never discussed getting engaged, let alone get married. It's something that would always get brushed off, to which he would say, "Wait until we're older." That being said, she completely lost her mind. She yelled out to Al, "Then marry someone else," followed by a ton of rude remarks to me, like, "You've never had a job, who's going to take care of you? You don't know how to do anything." She kept arguing to me, but I didn't say anything since I'm not the type to be confrontational and was just taken aback by her reaction and comments. After a few minutes, Al steps in and tells her to calm down and to stop attacking me. She stops and goes upstairs, leaving me, Al and Phil alone. Phil apologizes by saying, "That's how your mom is, do whatever you guys want." We left after that, and I haven't been back since. Now, Al is starting to tell me we're going to have to go visit them again soon, and he wants me to go too. I told him I wouldn't because I wouldn't feel welcomed or comfortable being at her house after last time. This has now turned into an argument between me and Al. He says I need to go or else me and him are going to be on bad terms, as if we're doing so good right now. He brushes it off by saying that's how his mom is and I need to deal with it. I told him I wouldn't be going back unless she apologized to me. He laughs and says she's not going to apologize. So that leaves us to where we are now. I'm not quite sure when he's planning on going back, but Mel's birthday is coming up soon, so I commenced up that's when. Maybe I'm being petty, but I also think I have the right to feel this way after such an irrational reaction.
Next story. Banned my 4 daughters from my wedding after discovering their plan to spill red wine on my future wife's dress. Now they're furious, but I'm not willing to tolerate their attempt to ruin the day. I'm a father to 4 daughters: Olivia, age 19, Christine, age 17, Eliza, age 15, and Aria, my youngest, age 12. Their mom and I divorced 6 years ago. Now I'm getting married to my fiancée Daniela soon. Daniela is the sweetest woman I'd ever met. She's kind, caring, and selfless. She loves my daughters a lot, but my daughters at first did not accept her, and it has caused so much tension. Quite frankly, the girls at the beginning were outright aggressive toward her. They openly disliked her and fought against her in many ways, including saying offensive things to her and vandalizing some of her stuff. There was so much struggle, and I honestly did not think there would be a solution for it. I even contemplated breaking up with Daniela because I didn't want her to get any more affected by what my daughters were doing. Suddenly, things had shifted and my daughters had a change of heart. They made a collective decision to mend their relationship with Daniela, and they became really nice and respectful toward her. It was strange, let me tell you. Especially when my youngest daughter, Aria, started clinging onto Daniela and spending most of the time with her. Notice that this change took place a couple of months ago. I immediately got engaged to Daniela, and we decided to get married at the end of next month. Everything was going pretty well. I'm busy with the wedding arrangements and stuff. I got a text message from my ex-wife telling me that the girls were planning to spill red wine on Daniela's wedding dress at the wedding. I was shocked. I asked how true this was, and she said she heard them plan the whole thing. Moreover, my sister was in on it too and agreed to help them. I asked if she had any idea why, but she did not respond. I was furious, and also very disappointed not knowing how I could even tell Daniela about it when Daniela is currently helping them pick dresses for the wedding and helping them pay as well. It felt like an awful betrayal. I didn't know what to do. I decided to just ban them from coming. I confronted the four of them, and they denied at first. Then, Eliza confessed but said it was intended as a prank, and that it was Christine's idea. Christine yelled at her and denied her involvement entirely. The girls started yelling at each other, then began crying when I told them they're not allowed at the wedding. Olivia said that I'd be ruining their relationship with Daniela if I don't let them attend on the most importantly day of her life. Christine promised they won't do it, and suggested that I don't tell Daniela and just let them come to preserve the relationship, and I decided to consider it. Well, yesterday my ex-wife sent a voice message telling me the girls lied and were still going to do it and warned me to be careful. This time I blew up and told them it was over, and that they were banned from the wedding, and that it was non-negotiable. They tried to argue, deny, and beg, but I refused to hear it. I was feeling so much angry and hurt. They went to stay with their aunt after I berated her on the phone, and she denied. I haven't told Daniela, but my side of family knew, and they opposed my decision, saying I'd turn this wedding into a joke if my girls are absent from it. My father and mother said the girls are remorseful and promised they won't do it, but I don't trust them after what happened. My parents demanded that the girls be allowed to come and said that it will negatively affect my relationship with the girls because they said the girls won't forget I stooped them from being a part of a special event memory. Next story. Walked our dog while my wife was getting ready for dinner, and now she's upset I wasn't there to help, wondering if I misread the situation. It feels ridiculous to ask about this, but I'm starting to think I'm missing some key bit of information here. I guess I'm asking that if I am, why? Because it wasn't my intention, and I certainly would like to prevent it from happening again. This Friday, my wife and I had reservations at her favorite restaurant because her birthday is right around the corner. We have a party planned, but this was supposed to be our night together alone. The way the reservation was set up, I would come home from work, change, and immediately drive there, as it's around an hour and a half by car. Yes, we live in hick country. Yes, I am a hick. And no, we aren't moving that I've been made aware of. LLL. The day had gone great so far, and from what I knew, everything was going according to plan. I got home, and she's behind schedule getting ready. This is not something that happens for her ever, and I was surprised, but the reason wasn't her fault, and it was barely a 20-minute deviation. However, I was just waiting by the door during that time, and the dog decided he needed out, so I took him for a walk around our yard. It took maybe 5 minutes, and I cleaned everything up and had him put up before my wife was ready. We made it to the dinner reservation by the skin of our teeth, and that was that. We had a great date, and I would have never known she was upset with me until the next morning, when she said that she had never known me to be so impatient, which confused me. And she rolled her eyes and said she noticed that I took the dog for a walk before we left to make her hurry, and that she just didn't want to let my bad mood ruin the night. I had been in a great mood and told her so, but she refused to believe it and got pretty angry, which I haven't been able to calm her down from to even talk about all this again. I really don't understand what I've done wrong here, and I don't know what to do.